Thanks.
How long did it take you to learn that song?
The first one?
Yeah.
I mean, like I said, I heard it maybe about 3 years ago, and I've been trying to learn how to play it pretty much ever since. So, and, you know, and I'm learning every day. So, I guess 3 years.
So what was the hardest riff to pull off?
In that particular song,
Yeah.
there's oops. There's this one right after the during the first kind of bridge, I guess. It's like hey, I did it. So yeah,
That's awesome.
That's a tough riff. Yeah.
Wow.
Just lots of, you know, it's I guess, you know, I learned kind of a lot about kind of flat picking when I was into bluegrass acoustic, and you know, you learn a lot about open string riffs, and that's a really good example of a tough open string riff.
It's tough to take things out of context too.
Yeah, exactly.
So who are some of your influences?
Well, when I first started, you know, taking guitar seriously back in, like, you know, 5th or 6th grade, I got really into guys, you know, the typical, you know, Jimi Hendrix, Stevie Vaughan, all those guys.
Yeah.
And then when I started high school, I got really into country, and I started listening to a lot of guys like Brad Paisley and Keith Urban. And pretty much ever since then, I've been all over the place. You know, I've kind of gone through a bunch of phases with, you know, bluegrass acoustics, with, you know, surf music, pop music, you know, all kinds of music. You know, I went through like a Hootie and the Blowfish phase where I don't know why, I just love Hootie and the Blowfish. And then, you know, right now I'm kind of, you know, going to like John Mayer type of blues stuff again. You know, it's the first time I've gone into it in a while. So
Monster player.
yeah, monster player, especially on the electric. He's got a good acoustic song too that I was gonna try and play today, but apparently I can't because of copyright. So it's really hard anyway. So
What kind of guitar are you playing?
this particular guitar is a 1992 Martin M38. It was actually an 18th birthday present from my parents, and it's a beauty. I mean, it's like, in terms of like the wood and everything, it's not that special. You know, spruce top, you know, pretty typical acoustic guitar. But you know, I really like the shape. You know, it's kind of in between like a dreadnought and a triple O guitar. You know, it's nice and thin. You know, you can see it's thinner than a dreadnought, but it's the same kind of width here at the top. So you get still a nice bass in those, you know, drop tunings, and even in a regular tuning, it's nice and bassy. But it's still really, really kind of airy and bright, and which is nice. You know, I like a warm guitar, but to have those little dynamics in there where it's easy to hear the individual strings coming through, it just sounds fantastic.
Cool.
Yeah. So that's my acoustic.
What you got for us on electric?
On electric. This is just like a 60s reissue custom shop Strat, and it's I got it from this kind of lesser known guitar store in Oregon, and it's a beauty. It was designed basically to kind of just recapture what a Strat should sound like, which I think especially nowadays, Fenders just sound really kind of muddy, or just not as bright as they should. And this one is really, really nice and punchy, no matter what you do with it. All good. You think I can just get away with a riff?
Sure.
Okay. See what you can do with that.
Nice.
Got a little bit messed up there. Whatever. Okay.
What's your practice regime?
My practice regime is I pretty much just play whenever I have the opportunity. And I guess that probably translates to about maybe, on average, maybe 2 hours a day.
Yeah. Well, how long have you been playing?
About 12 years.
Wow.
So,
Quite an investment.
yes. So, and like not 2 hours a day for 12 years, but I started learning when I was, I guess, 6 or 7. My dad taught me my first chords, and I picked it up, put it down, picked it up, and put it down until about 5th grade, where I just decided I'm gonna go for it. And yeah, pretty much ever since then, it's been about hour, 2 hours a day.
Wow.
And then yeah, and I've been through, like I said, a lot of influences. Definitely made a lot of improvements over those years.
So any tricks or tips for guys that are starting out?
I mean, I taught guitar for a little while, and I give lots of people tips about holding the guitar. A lot of people say like, oh, don't just watch the left hand, watch the right hand too, because a lot of it's in the strumming too, And I guess the two things that I think make the biggest difference in playing for anybody is two things to remember. Number one would be, I'd say about 80% of the tone that you get from a guitar is from the player, not from the stuff that you get. You can learn a lot more about somebody else's tone by the way they play for free than by buying thousands of dollars worth of stuff. But, having said, you can't be Jimi Hendrix, all it takes is time to learn how to be good, And you can be as good as you want to be. So if you invest the time and you practice the right stuff, then you'll be a lot better. And that kind of brings me to the second thing, which is never get hung up on the same genre or the same song or the same artist for, I would say longer than a month, because it's really crazy just to go back and think how many different artists and how many different times I've had a song on repeat. in my car. It's every month it's like a different song or a different artist. And I think that's a really good way to learn, is to have all those kind of riffs and songs back in your head as a library of stuff to do. And and I think that's the easiest way to get good, really, is to just listen, learn anywhere you can.
Big ears.
Yeah, absolutely.
Awesome.
So, see if I can do anything else on the electric here.
Sure.
But yeah, that's pretty much my views on guitar learning. That was alright. So I'll just like do a little thing.
Sure.
Deep River Blues. Okay, there's a little something you can work with.